Greetings my movie geeks and Happy New Year. Here is my most anticipated films of 2023. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. In no particular order, Antman and the Wasp, Quantumania. The trailer was released and it just looks like a massive setup for the Kang dynasty. But I have to say it looks like it's going to be quite an entertaining MCU outing. It may have been delayed for a year, but Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer are back for a third movie in the Ant-Man series. And with the return of old foes, a return to the quantum realm, and the return of Jonathan Majors as supervillain Kang the Conqueror. This looks to be one of the most anticipated MCU movies of this year. We can also expect Bill Murray to turn up as something.
I'm sorry, Cassie.
65. This Adam Driver-led science fiction thriller film, written and directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, best known for writing A Quiet Place. It looks to be a fun adventure traversing Earth of 65 million years ago. Driver is an astronaut who crash lands on a foreign planet only to discover he has landed on prehistoric Earth. Produced by Sam Raimi and with music composed by Danny Elfman, this is looking to be one of the movies to give the MCU a run for their money. Scream 6. Following on from Scream 2022, we're getting a fifth sequel that will be the first to not star Neve Campbell. Not long after 2022's Scream opened, it was announced that there would be a sequel directly tying into the characters who survived that film. But also, Hayden Panettiere is returning to reprise her role as Kirby Reed from Scream 4. The trailer perfectly sums up what this will be. Ghostface takes Manhattan. Shazam! What was that? Shazam! Fury of the Gods, a DC movie being released at last. That's something in itself, isn't it? The dying embers of the DCEU return with Zachary Levi returning as the magical hero Shazam, along with Billy Batson and the rest of the Shazam family. This time they're up against new villains Calypso and Hespera, played by Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren, the daughters of Atlas. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed the first one, but at this moment in time, and with the news released just before Christmas, it's difficult to get excited for the DC universe at the moment because of everything that's happened. Cancellation of films, firing of actors who were perfect in the role. I have a lot to say about the upcoming DC slate, so I might make another video about that because there's a lot to unload.
I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life.
John Wick Chapter 4. No subtitle this time, akin to Parabellum, just Chapter 4. Keanu Reeves returns as John Wick to the blockbuster action franchise. Originally, it was delayed due to COVID. It's taken a while to get here. After the end of the last film, the High Table presumed that John's dead. But we all know Wick will be gunning for all those on that high table. Directed by Chad Stahelski, he has said that this may not be the happy ending that we want for the character, which could be a misdirect, but in this world that's created, I can see it going wrong. After all, it does look like there's more assassins in this world than regular people.
A long time ago, my friend.
Super Mario Bros. Movie. Now, Chris Pratt may not have been everyone's first choice to play Mario, and I'll admit, they're never going to top the 1993 classic. Yes, I did say that. Watch my video here. on why it's good. But this film looks pretty accurate to the games. And with all the colourful quality comes a nice trip to the cinema with the kids. The premise is simple. Chris Pratt is voicing the famous Goomba-stomping plumber who arrives in the Mushroom Kingdom and meets Toad, played by Keegan-Michael Key, and Princess Peach, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. Jack Black and Seth Rogen will voice Bowser and Donkey Kong, and Charlie Day is playing Luigi. And just remember, we can all just go back and play the games.
No pressure.
Evil Dead Rise. Directed by Lee Cronin, this will be the 5th film in the Evil Dead franchise of movies. It moves the horror from the cabin in the woods or medieval England to the city where two estranged sisters, whose reunion is interrupted by the discovery of a mysterious book that is able to summon demons. It doesn't look like it's linked to either the original trilogy or the 2013 film, or even Ash vs. the Evil Dead series, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a chainsaw-handed Ash making an appearance at some point in the film. Maybe in a post-credits, maybe? But who knows? We'll all be dead by dawn by that time.
What will be.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the third and final outing of the original Guardians of the Galaxy, is set for release, tying up those loose ends from Volume 2 with the addition of pod-grown Adam Warlock, played by Will Poulter, and discovering what happened to Gamora at the end of Endgame. It's looking like it's going to be a funny, action-packed spectacle that will no doubt bring us to tears when they kill off one of our most loved characters. Ooh, it's released around my birthday. Cool. Fast X. I haven't seen the other 9, so I'm skipping this one. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Sony aren't spectacular at making Spider-Man movies. They were, but then when they tried to make Spider-Man-less Spider-Man films, they just don't work. Somehow, they managed to make the best Spider-Man film a few years ago with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It was fantastic. It gave us countless spider people from across the multiverse, all with different looks, spider abilities, and animation styles. It worked, and it looks like we're about to get a hell of a lot more of that. What did they say about sequels? Do the same again, but bigger. Shamik Moore will voice Miles Morales again, with Haley Steinfeld's Gwen Stacy and Oscar Isaac coming back as Spider-Man 2099. The first trailer didn't give us a whole lot of information, the actual story, but it revealed a whole host of different Spider-Men, Spider people that Miles will meet.
Good guys. We are.
The Flash. Another DC movie which, if rumours hold true, will be the catalyst to the reboots of the DCEU into the DCU for the next few years anyway. As with Shazam earlier, I am looking forward to it. Hell, I've been looking forward to it for, 6 years? It'll be good to see Michael Keaton back as Batman again and Henry Cavill as Superman, although saying that, I think that's been cut now. It will be interesting as to see how they handle the marketing given Miller's history and potential future or non-future in the DCU. But I think they have started coming out to do a little bit of advertising for the film. The whole slate of DC movies this year is interesting, as if there isn't a future. They won't tell us that until after the films are released. So they'll get our bums in seats and then they'll destroy everything. Basically, here are rumours that the plot will follow the Flashpoint storyline from the comics, in which case there will be crossovers from alternate universes and endings, and it will probably end up rebooting the whole thing. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. The penultimate Mission Impossible movie where Tom Cruise is doing everything and anything to bring action set pieces to the screen or trying to kill himself. You can love him or loathe him. He is fantastic at what he does. And this installment brings back a familiar franchise faces like Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Rebecca Ferguson, Vanessa Kirby. And Henry Czerny is reprising his role as Kittredge from the original Mission Impossible movie back in 1996. Thanks to COVID and the delay on the release, Cruise will have been playing Ethan Hunt for a whopping 27 years. Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan returns with Oppenheimer, a film that follows the life of theoretical physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, the director of the Los Alamos Laboratory during the Manhattan Project, and his contributions that led to the creation of the atomic bomb. Doesn't sound interesting, does it? But it's Christopher Nolan, and anything he makes needs to be viewed. I'll admit, I haven't even watched the trailer because I don't need to. I know I will be seeing this when it's in the cinema, but given that the last film he released, Tenet, had him crashing an actual plane, I worry that someone may actually give him a real atomic bomb. The Marvels. Following on from Disney Plus show Ms. Marvel, we will finally get an answer to how Brie Larson's Captain Marvel was transported into Kamala Khan's bedroom. There's not much to say on this other than Marvel don't seem to be slowing down any, despite what people say.
Hello, is that a blue laser going into the sky again? Come on, Marvel, you know better.
Looks like you're giving me orders now, Captain.
I don't even know who I am.
Awesome.
Dune Part 2. Or is it Dune? I was unlucky enough not to see this in cinemas, or the first one in cinemas, but I will be seeing this one in cinemas because I really enjoyed the first one. Again, directed by Denis Villeneuve and starring Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, the massive cast. It will continue the journey of Paul Atreides, who is united with the literal girl of his dreams, Chani, and the Fremen, to take revenge on the conspirators who killed his family and try to prevent the future he's seeing in his visions. I enjoyed the first one, and I know I will enjoy this one. But what I'm really looking forward to is that sweet Hans Zimmer score. The Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel. It's untitled at the moment, so that's what it's called. But Ghostbusters Afterlife was one of the best films of 2021. It wasn't hard, because there was not many released, but it captured the feel and humour of the original, giving us a familiar threat and new characters that we can relate to. It stood on its own, but when the real Ghostbusters turned up, it was a fist pump to the air and then an emotional goodbye. I cannot wait for this, and I just hope now that with the passing of Ivan Reitman, Jason Reitman can helm a good sequel. It will star Carrie Coon, McKenna Grace, and Finn Wolfhard. At least they're returning from Afterlife, possibly along with co-stars Paul Rudd and the surviving original Ghostbusters. We also know that this film will be setting itself back in New York, as the hint at the end when they park the Ecto-1 in the firehouse. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I'm still waiting for that Trench spin-off. Again, it's the third DC movie of this year, and as the first Aquaman film made $1 billion, there was no doubt this was getting a sequel. But we shall see if Jason Momoa will be returning as Aquaman once this film is released. Because, let's face it, the DCU is coming on the horizon. I can't see that much of this is going to be carried over after the reboot. As with the others, I will see it, but the investment has gone for me.
What could be greater than a king?
A hero. Fight for everyone.
For those who know me, they will know that I have missed one significant film that I will be there at. I didn't miss it on purpose. I left it to the end because it is my most anticipated film. Of course, it had to be Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Harrison Ford's final outing as the archaeologist adventurer not only entertained me and shaped me through my childhood, it even guided me into the life of archaeology. Yes, I will be there opening night. I'm hoping for a midnight screening, and I'm hoping it doesn't go the same route as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Saying that film is 75% good. That's it. With Spielberg declining to direct due to West Side Story and The Fabelmans, James Mangold has stepped up, and he is the one who gave us the best Wolverine film. The trailer of this looks fantastic. If a little off with some of the janky effects and the odd feel to the music, but it does feel a lot like Last Crusade rather than Crystal Skull. Here's the premise. In 1969, American archaeologist and adventurer Indiana Jones lives against the backdrop of the space race. Jones is uneasy over the fact that the US government has recruited former Nazis to help beat the Soviet Union in the competition to make it to space. His goddaughter Helena accompanies him on his journey. Meanwhile, Jürgen Voller, played by the sinister-looking Mads Mikkelsen, a NASA member and ex-Nazi involved with the moon landing program, wishes to make the world into a better place as he sees fit. It sounds great! So that's my list. What's your most anticipated movie of 2023? Let me know in the comments below. And remember to subscribe, ring that bell to be notified every time we release a video. And 2023 is going to be the year of the Ultimate Movie Geek. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.
Who is this man?
I'm her godfather.
Related.
Get back!